Hello, everyone. Welcome to the celebration of GoA's 55 years in business with our GoA virtual roadshow. As we continue around the globe, I'm welcoming one of our gold sponsors, and it's Kyushu. Now, you might see it spelled in English as Kyushu. And I was just speaking to Karen, who I'll introduce formally in a moment, about the pronunciation. Well, actually, Karen, I'll throw it over to you. How do you pronounce Kyushu? Because it's spelled, as I say, KY, but how do you pronounce it?
So with Kyushu, what you're going to be doing is pretend that it's the letter Q followed by the word shu. So Kyushu. So Kyushu.
Kyushu. Kyushu. So, everyone, that was Karen, and this is Karen Villa, and she is a senior account executive who is representing Kyushu, and she's going to speak to us today about this area of Japan. So, before we get into it, Karen, where are you speaking to us from? Are you in New York, LA? Are you actually in Japan by chance?
I'm actually based in Orlando. I did live in Japan for 2 years, but
Okay.
and I've explored a lot, most of Japan actually. So, but no, I'm based here now on the East Coast of the USA, so easy to contact.
Okay, wonderful. And we'll get into the contact information at the end. So, on that note, I will pass over to Karen, and she will speak to you all about the wonders and the joys of Kyushu. Over to you, Karen.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm so excited to show you the onsen island Kyushu. Kyushu is an incredible destination that is kind of a off the beaten path type of trail that most people haven't gone to in Japan. But I think it's a great destination for people who have already been to Tokyo and let's say have kind of had enough of the main places and want to see something completely different. So even if you've been to Japan before, if you haven't been to Kyushu, you haven't been to all of Japan. So I want to show you a short little video so that you can see what that looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed that small video. I am so excited to welcome you to Kyushu. Kyushu is Japan's southernmost major island, where it's made of volcanic landscapes. It's full of samurai history, serene onsen retreats, and authentic and diverse experiences. Whether your clients seek adventure, culture, culinary delights, Kyushu delivers unspoiled beauty and a local charm. So, as I said, Kyushu is the southernmost island of Japan. So first I want to tell you how you would get there. So Kyushu doesn't have any direct routes from anywhere in the US. However, Japan does have direct routes from places in the US. And Kyushu does have direct connections to lots of places in Southeast and East Asia. So for example, if you were to have maybe a 2-week trip and half of the week is going to be in Taiwan, it is only a 2-hour and 30-minute plane ride from Taipei. If you were in Hong Kong, it would be a 3-hour and 45-minute flight from Hong Kong. If it was in the Philippines, you would only have a 4-hour flight from the Philippines. If you were in Thailand, you would have a 5-hour and 35 minutes. It's only 1 hour and 30 minutes from Seoul. And of course, the US has direct flights to Tokyo, to Narita Airport, which is located in the Chiba Prefecture, which is near Tokyo. So LAX to Narita Airport would be 11 hours and 30 minutes. And from Narita to Fukuoka, it's 1 hour and 55 minutes. If you're flying JFK to Narita, it'd only be a 14-hour flight. And then you have your flight down to Fukuoka, which Fukuoka is the capital main main entrance into Kyushu. So this would be Japan, and where you see down here is Kyushu. Kyushu is the southernmost main island, and Fukuoka here is kind of the main entry point into it. Fukuoka has great flight access, great connection access, as well as ferry access. So even if you were to say you had a group that was doing a 2-week travel through Asia, and maybe they had the first week in Seoul in South Korea and maybe Busan, the southernmost part of South Korea, you could actually take a ferry from Busan to Fukuoka. It would be a 3 hour ferry ride, and then, or you could take an even shorter flight. And from Fukuoka, you have great connections to the rest of Kyushu. Getting around Kyushu while you're there is easy to explore with either the planes, because they have great air routes throughout Kyushu, as well as ferries, which is a very popular way to travel through Kyushu because Kyushu is a very mild, warm, more of a tropical climate compared to other places of Japan. And they have high-speed trains, highways, and ferry connections to nearby islands as well. So there are many different ways that you can explore Kyushu. There's not a wrong way about it. While you're in Kyushu, I definitely recommend visiting local onsens as well as luxurious hotels that they have, and traditional ryokans as well as the resorts. So Kyushu is known as Japan's hot spring island, onsen island. So I completely recommend that if your clients were to spend some time in Kyushu, at least 1 or 2 of the nights should be in a traditional ryokan. So a ryokan is a traditional Japanese inn, and they are special and unique only to Japan, and especially in Kyushu, which is known for their hot springs. I think it's an unforgettable experience that they cannot have anywhere else. Now, I get a lot of questions about when is the best time to go to Japan? When is the best time to go to Kyushu? As someone who lived there, I can honestly say there's never a bad time to go to Japan. It's always great. Every season has their unique offering, their unique foods, staples, stuff, and festivals. There's always something to do in Japan. You can never be bored. And in Kyushu, what I will say is that they have milder winters compared to other places in Japan. So you can expect that there's definitely more to do there, even when it's cold. However, what I would say is that if you really wanted to see the best of Kyushu, I would recommend going during either spring or fall, because this is when they have the most foliage. There's a lot of festivals, a lot of really great food that's in season. These are the higher seasons usually. But honestly, when people ask me when is the high season of Japan, I don't know when there is not a high season. Japan is always really popular. But since Kyushu is a little bit off the beaten path type of destination, you're sure to find that there will be less crowds in Kyushu than there would be in other places of Japan. So that's something to look forward to as well. I would say if this is your first time going to Japan and you're going to Kyushu, stay away from summer just because it is very hot. It is a hotter destination, and unless your clients are particularly fond of the heat, or maybe they come from warmer climates, then maybe this is something that they're used to. Kyushu is also not, they do have ski resorts. So if your clients are interested in skiing, that's an opportunity. However, they're not known for ski resorts. So this would be more if your clients are interested in adding a skiing opportunity, but not necessarily going like avid skiers that are like professional skiers and stuff like that. I would say definitely stick mostly to spring and autumn, but if you do want those other seasons, there's still stuff to offer. So if you only had 1 week in Kyushu, a 7-day trip around Kyushu, you can mix a lot of different prefectures around. I decided to focus on Fukuoka, Oita, Miyazaki, and Kagoshima. They seem far away, but they're not, and pretty easy to connect through by train. So you would be landing in Fukuoka Airport from wherever you would have come from, whether that be Narita in Tokyo, or from Busan or Seoul or any other destination around Asia. And you would spend 2 days in Fukuoka exploring the city, the gardens, and the museums. Your 3rd day would be in Oita. You would hot spring hop, which is a particularly fun activity to do, and stay in a traditional ryokan, because Oita in particular is the capital of hot springs in Kyushu. So if Kyushu is the capital of hot springs in Japan, Oita is the capital of hot springs in Kyushu. So you have to go, especially Beppu in Oita. Then you can take the long distance train, Nichirin, which you saw earlier. It's a green train that I had in my pictures, and you can take it to Miyazaki. Miyazaki is a mystical destination with a lot to do, especially for adventure travelers. If you have groups that are really into either spirituality or adventure travel, Miyazaki is the place to go. Then you would go to Kagoshima by the limited express train. You see that I mentioned trains a lot here. It's because trains are something that you have to experience when you're in Japan. It's a truly amazing experience to go through all the different scenery, and it feels like something out of a movie. Then you can explore Kagoshima by ferry because there are a couple of islands that you can visit through Kagoshima, and you can stay one night in the Kagoshima Ryokan and or a hotel. If you've already done the ryokan in Oita, you could also stay in a hotel, whichever one your clients would prefer. But I always love staying at ryokans because there's nothing like it anywhere else in the world. And then you would depart the last day to Fukuoka from Kagoshima and prepare your departure from Japan. So this is what Fukuoka would look like. Fukuoka is a bustling, incredible, lively city. So if you see here in the top right-hand corner, if you were to go in spring, these are the wisteria gardens. This garden is actually open in spring and in fall. Obviously, in spring during wisteria season, it looks purple like this. In fall, it would be full of fall foliage, beautiful picture opportunities. It's a serene garden, and they also offer seasonal foods and foods that have something to do with the flowers of the season as well. So they'll have wisteria ice cream or wisteria pastries as well. Fukuoka is actually, fun fact, one of the youngest cities in Japan in terms of population. They have the highest population of young people in all of Japan. So it is incredibly, their nightlife is incredibly popular. They have a bustling population of youthful people. The night stalls, the food stalls are what people go to when they go to Fukuoka because you get a lot of really great street food. I know a lot of people worry when they travel to different places in the world if the street food is safe to eat. It is absolutely safe to eat in Fukuoka. It's safe to eat all over Japan. And you can get a good eclectic mix of different types of foods with influences from China and from South Korea. And because it is so close to other East Asian and Southeast Asian hubs that it has a lot of influence. There's also the giant Buddha statue that's resting. So this is also a really great picture opportunity as well as spiritual getaway for people. Next, we go to Oita. So if you were going to Oita, you would be taking a train or a bus. And so Oita is known for their hot springs. There are the 7 hells of Beppu, which basically are just different onsens that you can see and experience. Oita city itself is also really popular for their sweet potato liquor, actually, and as well as a couple of other really popular foods. This soup that I have on the side, the noodles there, it's similar to a miso soup, but the noodles are more like mochi rice noodles. If you've ever had mochi, it's like a rice pastry that's very chewy. So these noodles are very chewy and soft. They're different from other places in Japan. This is something that when visiting Japan, it's always good to research what foods are popular in the region because you often won't be able to find them in other places in Japan. So it's always great when you visit a new prefecture, a new city, try out what's new, what's good in there because it's something that you can't find elsewhere. But Oita has great shrines, great hiking, great canyoning, and great hot springs. So I definitely recommend staying in one of those there. As for Miyazaki, so fun fact, Miyazaki is actually considered the birthplace of Japan. It has very important mythological, it has a really strong mythological importance in Japan because if you know anything about Japanese creation mythology, you know about the goddess Amaterasu, which is the goddess of the sun. She is said to have been born there, and she has the shrine that she hid away in, causing days of darkness, is located in Miyazaki as well, until obviously the other gods were able to coax her out. So Miyazaki is full of spirit, full of history and mythology, and it's a beautiful place to go. The moment you step into it, you feel like you're in a storybook. If you see here, this is a gorge that you can actually visit. You can take a boat tour through it. You can paddleboard through it. It's really beautiful, and it's beautiful in the fall and the spring and the summer. It doesn't matter. It's always a great opportunity. And because Kyushu gets milder weather. Even if you were to come in the winter, it's still open because it doesn't get as cold as other places. There's also many shrines that you can visit while you're in Miyazaki, as well as surfing, something that's really unique and special to Kyushu, but especially Miyazaki. Miyazaki is considered the surfing central of Japan. This is where you can get a lot of really good surfing bits. So if you're getting travelers that are really into adventure travel, Miyazaki is a place that you have to stop at. And then we have Kagoshima. Kagoshima is one of my favorite islands, one of my favorite prefectures, because Kagoshima is a place of wellness, relaxation, as well as it has a really unique style of onsen that you really can't find outside of Kyushu, which is the volcanic sand baths. Kagoshima actually has one of the most active volcanoes in all of Japan. But don't let that scare you. Obviously, there is an entire city here, so it's nothing to be worried about. But the volcanic sands are a completely unique, different way to experience a hot spring. It's good for anti-anxiety relief. It works like a weighted blanket. You basically get kind of buried in it. It's good for releasing impurities from the skin, exfoliation, and it's said that the volcanic properties are just particularly very good for wellness. You can also explore different islands around Kagoshima through the ferry. As well as Sakurajima, that is the volcano there. Off in the distance, you can actually hike the volcano. There are also hot spring properties on that island where the volcano is. So despite that being one of the most active volcanoes in Japan, this is still very, very safe place to visit. I wouldn't let it deter anyone. And I would say, if anything, it makes it more interesting to go and be like, I went to this place that has an active volcano. It's something to really brag about. On top of that, they have really great cycling. They have amazing temples and really good liquor, wine, and traditional onsens that you can experience while you're there. And after you're done with Kagoshima, you could take a plane right back to Fukuoka, and then you can head out. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. Don will have my contact information as well as Susie's contact information. She is my colleague for Kyushu. So he will make sure to send it over to you guys, and with my name, my email, my phone number.
So excellent. Thank you very much for that, Karen. That was fantastic. A quick question, or a couple of questions for you. I would assume that the reason that Kyushu is coming sort of to the forefront is to get people, or not away, but as you mentioned earlier in your presentation, to not only focus on the sort of the Tokyo Osaka run. So I assume that's sort of the broader plan for Japan, to get people to some of the other regions of the country.
Absolutely. That's absolutely what the plan is, because places like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, they get a lot of tourists, they get a lot of love, but we're trying to spread the love to a lot of different places, right? People ask me what my favorite place in Japan is, and I like to say I love all my children equally. But I think ultimately there are a lot of really beautiful places in Japan that don't get the attention that they deserve, simply because Tokyo is so popular.
Yeah, and I noticed too on the maps you were showing that many people, when they go to Japan on that sort of the Golden Triangle, I think it's called, they will add on, they'll go down to Hiroshima for obvious reasons. But I noticed on the map that it's quite close to Kyushu, so it's not a big add-on from a distance point of view for the normal itineraries that people are looking at. Just on that note too, looking at the map, it seems that the island seems quite close to the mainland. Now, you, of course, mentioned flying in. Can you cross from like the main island to Kyushu by ferry or otherwise, or train?
You can take the train, actually. There are bullet trains that go from Hiroshima straight to Kyushu as well. So it's very, very accessible. If there's anything that Japan does really well, it's trains.
Right. So it's a very easy add-on to a standard famous Golden Triangle itinerary. Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
exactly. And
Okay,
if
then.
they're going to go to...
Yes, no, please. Yep.
Sorry,
Go
yeah.
on.
If they're going to Hiroshima for like the cultural and like the history, especially about the atomic bomb, they can also add on Nagasaki, which is in Kyushu as well. So
Okay. Well, there you go. Okay. So thank you, Karen, for that. We really appreciate it. It's good to see other aspects of Japan that people may not be aware of. It seems like a beautiful country, literally from top to bottom. So we encourage everyone out there to get in touch with your Go Away destination specialist for Japan, and or Karen and Susie. For those who were at the actual road shows in the US, you'll meet Susie there as well. So on that note, I'd like to thank Karen for her time today. And as always, thank you for listening in, and we appreciate your time, and we will talk to you soon.
thank you. Bye-bye.